In order to have a negotiation, you have to have conversations. And I think it's apparent, abundantly clear, that there has been a great divide between the players and our commissioner or the league office in order to have productive conversations. And now Nafissa's statement that she made in her exit interview is accountability. WNBA players never want to throw out all the smoke. They don't. They only do it when necessary. They're always strategic. They're always calculated. You talk about the t-shirt they wore at All-Star. That was a collective decision. These are members of the executive committee of the WNBA making these statements. And obviously, they understand the magnitude of the moment.
This occurred just now. You crossed the line. Adam Silver growls, slamming his fist on the table and turning to face Cathy. Threats for players and hidden directives. This is now over. The whole WNBA globe erupted at that very time. This is the most bizarre scenario the league has ever seen, so before we get started, make sure you're tuned in. There is already a lot of tension in this other WNBA world. Players are nervous, fans are enraged, sponsors are questioning, but no one anticipated what would happen next. There are rumors that 4 emerging stars were abruptly cut. No explanation, no caution. The league moves silently. Then there are murmurs. This was not a typical choice. This was commanded by someone. Hello, someone. The league as a whole freezes. According to reports, Cathy in this made-up plot is incensed about locker room loyalty, player independence, and changes in popularity. It is said that she assigns a special inside agent to intimidate, coerce, and secretly expel the players. However, things don't remain silent.
And at the end of the day, she's worried about her. In all of her statements, it's all like, well, I got us here and I should. And Cathy, no one cares. Literally, no one cares. Like how you're sitting right there, that's how we feel every time she speaks. Every time she speaks, us as players, that's how we feel.
And, I think what people need to understand, we need great leadership in this time across all levels. This is a moment we have to capitalize on. So that's honestly what I would say. I think there's, Fee said it all with what she said. And, I think the points she made were...
A voice message is leaked by one player, an email is leaked by another, and a third player breaks down in tears and says, "We weren't cut. We were the target." At that point, everything shifts. Adam Silver storms into the narrative. He cancels his appointments and enters league headquarters without making an announcement. His expression was one of utter amazement. He peruses the reports. He hears the recordings. He watches the players' heartbroken live feeds. Lastly, he utters the words that send shockwaves across the internet. Cathy has undermined the league if this is accurate. It's pure cinematic drama in this section. Adam Silver enters the executive room with a bang. Cathy looks up, composed. Adams places a packet on the table. Adam, for players, and budding stars are the targets of internal pressure. Cathy, what were you thinking? In a fictional sense, I took the necessary action. They were growing larger than the league.
Yesterday on First Take, you called for Cathy Engelbert's resignation from her role as WNBA commissioner. When you hear Caitlin Clark there, how does that strike you?
Doesn't strike me at all. Same reaction. Cathy Engelbert should resign as the commissioner of the WNBA. And the reason I said that, fellas, is because when a player, and I say that not in any kind of derogatory way, she was talking about Cathy Engelbert directly. She revealed private conversations, you understand, with quotes from this lady, the commissioner, about what she said that came across as dismissive, as derogatory, and unappreciative of the athletes that represent her league. And then the person I call the golden goose of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, you understand, who is box office for the WNBA. Just look at the numbers, look at the ratings, look at everything. For her to come out and said, Fee said it all. She's letting you know that Nafissa Collier didn't lie, she didn't mince words, and she didn't misrepresent what the collective body of the league is feeling about this commissioner and her leadership. You cannot, and then the biggest point, guys, that I made yesterday, and this is the number one reason I called for Cathy Engelbert to resign. I don't care who it is. If somebody calls you out publicly and you're in a leadership position and you've been called out publicly and attacked that way, you don't give what I said was that weak ass response that Cathy Engelbert, I'm going to say it again because people thought I stuttered just there. I don't know how because I don't stutter. Weak ass comment. I'm going to say it one more time. Weak ass comeback. That's what she did. When you were attacked like that, what you did was provide fodder to the belief that everything
Adam's mouth falls open. The players or the league, Adam. The room is silent. Cathy, you're suspended, says Adam Silver as he gets to his feet. With instant effect, the building is filled with gasps. Security advances. Phones begin to record. The whole thing turns into an earthquake that goes viral. Fans congregate outside. Some cry, some chant, and some cheer. Bring the players back. The inquiry is still ongoing. It turns out that in this made-up world, Cathy attempted to dictate the league's future by excluding players she believed to be too strong, too powerful, too adored. She desired total authority. However, she incited a rebellion instead. Coaches came forward. Legends from the past spoke up. Referees even sent anonymous texts stating, "This has gone too far." There was more than one error. A chain reaction occurred. Emotions were strong in the locker rooms. A single player falters. "We gave everything, and we were treated like enemies." "I wanted respect," says another. "I was punished." Social media is flooded with fans calling for justice.
These are numbers when people talked about at the beginning of the season, the high tide lifts all boats or whatever, basically. Like, if you buy into this, everybody is going to eat. Yet you had people fighting tooth and nail the entire season, not wanting it to be this way because other people weren't getting flowers, or she was getting too much attention, or she gets a special whistle, or I'm gonna check her off the ball here just because. And then her teammate cheers for her for throwing her on the ground. It didn't get better. And it's disappointing to me because it's not every player in the WNBA. And I'm sure that there are many players who are happy to have her in the league. And it's like, if it was my league and somebody was coming in and bringing millions of people, like, I would be excited about that, because you know what? That's a chance for me to impress millions of people who weren't watching before.
The league office is contacted by sponsors, requesting responses. The strain increases. Intolerable, and Adam Silver eventually declares, "The athlete should be shielded. Honesty is what the league deserves," and this ends. A full board meeting has been summoned. Adam Silver displays each component of a proof, each communication, each witness, every detail. Next, he declares that Cathy Engelbert loses her job. The room erupts, effective today. Some were clapping, some relieved, and some surprised. But Adam doesn't stop there. He concludes by saying, the players will help the WNBA rebuild. Players return, fans rejoice, and sponsors rejoin, and the message is unambiguous. When players improve, the league does too. At the podium, Adam Silver declares, "This is a new age. There are no dangers, no fear. Just basketball, no targeting." The narrative concludes, the camera fades, and the WNBA was permanently altered.